Okay, so I'll move on to introduce the Sec 1 team. Okay, next slide. So earlier on, the gentleman who was introducing me was Mr. Dennis Wang. He's the year head in charge of the lower secondary. So you'll probably see him for two levels, Sec 1, as well as when your child move on to Sec 2. And then we have Miss Diana Norman. He's a level academic supervisor who will look after the academic studies as well as the well-being of your child at Sec 1. And then we have Miss Felin Tong, level student management teacher in charge of discipline. Behind that smiling face, it's actually quite a firm person actually. Yeah, so yeah. So for the form teachers, you would see that the name of the form classes are actually named after the founding principles of Assumption English. And they were all brothers. All right, so for the first one, class 1 Vincent, we have Miss Lim Tzu Sing, as well as Miss Valerie Ko. Next. 1 Adolphus, we have Miss Fasiha and Miss Elise Eng. 1 Raymond, we have Miss Tam Chien Yun and Mr. Arvin. And then we have 1 Emmanuel, we have Miss Denise Lee and Miss Kong Yin Ha. 1 Noel, we have Mr. Joshua Yeo and Madam Yong Sok Man. And then we have 1 George, Miss Meera Devi and Miss Karen Lau. Okay, next I'll move on to a bit of the school history legacy. Maybe for some of the parents, you may have heard about this during our virtual open house, but nevertheless, I will repeat some of this just for the sake of parents who have not seen this, or maybe you are still not too sure about the school. So anyway, our legacy, we were founded by the Montfort brothers of St. Gabriel's, who arrived in Singapore in 1936. All right, after World War II, Brother Vincent, one of the founding brothers, established Boys Town in 1948, and therefore Assumption English School was founded in 1953 to provide education for the boys living in Boys Town. Next. Okay, we were back then known as Boys Town English School, but we merged with CHIJ Bukit Timah in 1973, became co-ed. And therefore, there was a change in name. We were renamed as Assumption English School in honor of Our Lady, Mother Mary, Mother of Jesus, according to the Catholic faith, who's also the patroness of the Brothers of St. Gabriel. So the name Assumption is because Mother Mary, we believe, was assumed body and soul after her earthly life. And because of the devotion of the Brothers of St. Gabriel, in honor of her, we were renamed in honor of her Assumption English School. Okay, next. Okay, our school identity, if you're not too sure, actually we are sited in a very large compound. And in this large compound, actually we have 3 institutions. Okay, so I'm trying to make it clear for everybody so you understand. So the 3 institutions, we actually have, of course, ourselves, Assumption English School. We function as a typical secondary school, and we offer the O levels as well as the N levels. All right. And then another school that shares the same name with us, it's called the Assumption Pathway School. All right, basically they provide vocational curriculum, all right, for students who after their PSLE is found to be more suited to a more hands-on kind of curriculum. Then of course we have Boys Town, situated in this huge compound, and they provide shelter for boys who come from disadvantaged home backgrounds. So they could be orphans, or they could come from a bit of a dysfunctional family background. So they are taken care of in the Boys Town boarding home. So for Boys Town boarding home, many a times people get a bit confused between Boys Town as well as Boys Home. Now, Boys Home, let me just say that it's situated in Jurong West, not near to us at all, Jurong West. So just to be clear, because sometimes the community, they are not too sure about Boys Town and Boys Home. So for Boys Home, basically is a highly regimental kind of an environment for boys who have committed offences. All right, so hopefully you are clear about that. Because I think in 2018 there was actually a riot in boys' home. All right, and because of that, actually for us we receive phone calls, just to check that whether we are safe or not. But that's boys' home in Jurong West. Boys Town is in Upper Bukit Timah. All right, thanks. So for us, our school vision, men and women of character and learning in the service of God and the community. And being part of the Assumption English School, the story of our founding saint, Saint Louis Marie de Montfort, is very important. I'm not too sure whether your child has already told you about the story of Montfort in Binoon. Basically, each story of Montfort teaches us about values. So for Sec 1, it's really about Montfort in Dinoun, this place in France. All right, what we want to teach is to teach our Sec 1 students compassion for all. As they move up to Sec 2, 3, and 4, they'll learn about Montfort in Reims, Montfort in Poitiers, and Montfort in Cesson. Maybe very quickly, I will just maybe tell the story of Montfort in Dinoun for all the parents. All right, basically, our founding saint back then was walking back to the priest's house after a long, hard day of priestly duties. So as he walked past a dark alley, he actually saw a beggar, all right, a sick beggar lying by the side of the road. So for Montfort, he decided to carry this beggar, this very sick person, back to the priest's house to nurse him back to health. All right, to nurse him back to health. When he reached the priest's house, which was very late, uh, he knocked on the door. However, because it was so late, the housekeeper was very slow in responding, and he knocked on the door again. All right, but the housekeeper was still, very slow. And for Montfort, he shouted at the top of his voice, "All right, open the door to God." All right, and he shouted again, "Open the door to God." So the housekeeper, when he heard that, he sort of panicked. So for all of us, we might be wondering, why did Montfort say, "Open the door to God"? Does it mean that he felt that he himself was God? Now the reason behind Montfort saying that open the door to God, because for Montfort, when he sees the poor, the destitute, all right, those who are marginalized, the last, the lost, and the least, when he sees the face of these people, he sees the face of God. So therefore, the lesson learned here is that we want to teach our students to be compassionate to everyone, even to those who are the last and lost and least in society, people who are marginalized, people that most of us in society we try to avoid. So we want to teach in our students compassion for everyone. That's the learning point for our students. So the Montfortian education charter, that's something that guides me, guides all my teachers, guides all my staff in the way that we deliver the curriculum. All right. So in the way we deliver the curriculum, it is always about being inclusive. All right. So and also to be participatory in the way we do things means before we teach, we must be able to do it, and to be innovative and creative, and always in the best interest of our children, and to work towards partnership and networking to bring the best educational experience for our students, respect for the community of life, and always to quest for excellence, to have high standards, and of course a spiritual vision, a higher order in whatever we want, in whatever we do in school. All right, next. So some key school facts were established in 1953, as mentioned, by the Montfort Brothers of St. Gabriel. We are a mission school. At the moment, our school population is coming close to 800. We might reach 800, all right, although the slide said 791, but we are inching towards 800. 89 teachers and allied educators, 26 admin staff. We offer an express, normal academic, as well as a normal technical curriculum. Next. So this is the secondary school education pathway. After PSLE, you have the express course, normal academic, as well as normal technical. All right. I'm going a bit faster a bit because I really want all parents to be able to engage your form teachers later on. Don't worry about the slides because it'll be posted up in the school website definitely by Monday. And I understand that there are also Q&As, questions from parents, which we will answer and we will put it up in the school website as well by Tuesday or Wednesday. All right, for all the questions, because I believe after today there could be more questions, and then we will answer all of these questions as best as we can, and we'll put it up in the school website by Tuesday or Wednesday. But for this deck of slides, definitely by Monday it will be up. So for our recent national exam results for last year's cohort, for our Sec 4 Express, eligibility for junior college is 40.6%. All right, just to let all parents know, for JC, all right, we are affiliated to CJC, so you will enjoy 2 bonus points if your child is interested in the JC routes. So for eligibility for JC for 4 Express is 40.6%. Eligibility for Poly is 85.5%. For Sec 5, normal academic students who return back to school to do their O levels after their Sec 4 normal academic national exams, eligibility for Poly was 84%. All right, for Sec 4 normal academic, all right, eligibility for Sec 5 is 70.7%. Eligibility for DPP as well as PFP is another route, is 55.2%. Sec 4 normal technical eligibility for IT is 100%. So a good set of results actually. All right, a good set of results. So a unique program for us is, or we call it the Applied Learning Program, we name it the SPEAK program. Speak English with Grace and Knowledge. So basically there's a focus on the English language where we try to encourage our students to really use the language well. All right, so for example, for Sec 2, when your child come up to Sec 2, they'll get a chance to read the news, current affairs, to the whole school itself, Currently, because of safety measures, they will read the news through the PA system. But if it's a typical normal year, they will do it in front of the whole school during assembly. So it's really very exciting. So they will actually choose the news that they like and say it to the whole school. All right. Next slide. So part of the SPEAK program, something that was added on last year is we want to encourage our students, especially the Sec 2 students, to create content. So in this case here is to create a short film. So we feel that to be able to create content is very important. So we will continue with this program. Last year it happened in 20th of November. It was a short film festival where students created short films using only their handphones. So it's pretty exciting. All right, so we will continue with this effort. Another unique program that we have is the lifelong learning program. It's actually a leadership program. Where students, through their interest and passion for the environment, as well as for science, they will cultivate their leadership competency, their leadership skills. Another very important program is also for our students to go through, all right, the Flag Day experience. Although we might say that, oh, it's only Flag Day, but we are in supporting the St. Gabriel's Foundation as well as to support Boys Town. And really for Flag Day, I truly believe it teaches our students resilience, how to overcome rejection. So for the Flag Day, it's not only the students will go through it, the teachers, myself as well, we will go through it. We will carry our own things and ask for funds, all right, for donations, all right. And I feel that it's really a very important part in terms of character development. So that's something to look forward to. But currently, right now, there's safety measures. Last year, we couldn't have it, especially for one that was planned for end of the year. This year, we are still waiting for more guidelines. So in terms of academic learning, we also have an allied educator, all right, that is trained to support students that require the additional help. All right, so for special needs, students with special needs as well. So Catholic activities, we start off the day with morning prayer and reflections, and then we have masses as well, one for Founders Day, one for start of the year, which we already had it, and one for end of the year as well. Then for Catholic students, they have the Faith Alive program happening every Friday after school. And of course, for Catholic students, they have the second CCA at Sec 1. We call it the Young Montfortian Associates. Okay. Just to let everyone know, these are some of our alumni. All right, the person on the left is actually a famous radio and TV personality, Vanetta Lopez. And then we have a sportsman, Lee Wang Yu. He was an Olympian as well as a multiple gold medalist for the SEA Games as well. He has retired, but he has come back to be the guest of honor for Sports Day. And maybe back to Vanetta Lopez, she actually we actually asked her to help us train our students in terms of emceeing. That was in 2019. All right, and then we have Marcus Tan, the Carousel co-founder. All right, we have actually there are 3 co-founders for the Carousel app. I'm sure some of you parents you also have this app. Yeah, so he's also an old boy, one of the co-founders for Carousel. Now, of course, we have Oliver Tan, a founder and CEO of Vincent. It's actually a startup quite established already. All right, it's also one of our ex-students. Okay. So every parent, a supportive partner. I think right now, transition from primary school to secondary school, sometimes we can be a bit anxious. So always keep in touch with your child's educational journey. Talk about their future plan, their dreams and passions. Be supportive, but no need to be over anxious, because we really need them to be more independent and self-directed. All right, encourage or ensure discipline, right? And then of course care for your child's well-being. All right, manage their stress level, and also balance study time with rest time. Make sure that they have enough exercise, nutrition, as well as leisure time as well. All right, the next slide. This is something that I'll always remind our students, and I hope parents, you will also reiterate this, the importance of attendance. All right, school attendance is critical, because if they are not in school, they will miss out on the school experience. And of course, to be properly attired, their personal grooming. All right, for boys, are they keeping their hair neat and short as well? Then of course in class they need to be attentive. All right, they need to be alert. And something which I've always tell our students, right, they should not be resting their head on the table during lesson time. So while your child is doing the revision at home, I hope that they are also not resting their head on the study table at home as well, because it's not a good habit at all. And then for assignment, that they should always be completing their assignments on time, the homework, and of course to have positive attitude in school as well. Next. Learning how to learn, I mentioned just now, we want our students to be self-directed, to be independent. So definitely, I always emphasize about the 5 R's. Reading. Reading is not like reading storybook, but they should always annotate to pen down their thoughts, their comments, as well as questions when they are doing their work. All right, so to outline as well as to highlight. And also the next R is also for them to recall. All right, it can be mental recall or to write and recall. All right, so it's important that they do this exercise of recalling what they have learned. And of course, to rewrite as well. All right, through mind maps or summarize or make their own notes. It is important that they do that, and of course, to reflect on what they have learned. And how do they know that they have learned, and what is their strengths and things that they are not too sure of. And of course, to repeat the 5 R's again in order to deepen their learning. All right, so I just want to say this again. The slides is going to be in the school website on Monday, so do not be too anxious about it, parents. And of course, questions that you have posed, definitely I think this evening we may not be able to answer all your questions, but we will collate all of these questions and we will answer them, and we will be put up on the school website definitely by Wednesday, or even earlier. All right, with this, I will stop my segment, and then we'll move on to the National Digital Literacy Program. All right, Mr. Tang, please.